Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, I want to give you a very big warm welcome. So here in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I make this Loso Bulayi dish. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's what I like to call orange rice. Some people refer to it as jollof rice, but yes, it is a rice dish. So I'm going to show you guys how I cook this, and I hope you will enjoy watching. So these are all the ingredients I have. So firstly, I've got 3 cups of long grain rice that I previously washed, and I've got this tub of tomato paste as well as this tub of chopped tomatoes. I've also got some vegetable oil, and I used equipment such as this cooking pot along with its lid. I have 3 Maggi cubes right here along with 5 habanero peppers. I've also got 3 garlic cloves as well as half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. I've also got a tablespoon of dried parsley along with a teaspoon of black pepper. I have 4 bay leaves. I also have 1 whole onion here, and I finally got 3.5 cups of water. So to start off, I switched my hob onto medium-high heat and I added 2 tablespoons of oil. While I let the oil heat up, I then started chopping this 1 whole onion into small dices. Once the oil has heated up, I threw in the diced onions into this pot, and then I started frying them until they were somewhat golden brown. This was when I began grating the garlic cloves into the mixture. I also had to use my spoon to scoop out all the remaining garlic, because the garlic does get stuck inside the grater, which can be a bit of an inconvenience. So next up, I added half a cup of chopped tomatoes and a cup of the tomato paste. I then mixed everything together and continued to let that cook. At this point, I had to turn the heat down slightly because the sauce was getting stuck to the pot. So here in this step, I started chopping up all the habanero peppers. You can also use scotch bonnet as well. They pretty much come from the same species of chili peppers. So the reason I chopped up all these peppers is so that I could blend them into a paste later on. Here I transferred all the chopped up pieces into this small glass, and once I had done that, I added less than 1/4 cup of water. I also used this all-purpose cloth to cover the glass along with my hand blender, just so that the mixture doesn't pop out while it's blending, because it tends to do that, which is very inconvenient. So anyway, you can see here that the mixture at the bottom is forming, and once it had formed into a paste, I added it into this sauce mixture. So yes, here I'm just scooping out all the remnants of this chili, even though it's not necessary, but I still like to do it. This was the part where I added all the seasoning, so I added the nutmeg, black pepper, parsley, and I threw in the Maggi cubes because they were super hard. I don't know why they're always hard, but yeah, you can see that I pressed the cubes down because they were just extremely tough. I also added half a cup of water into the sauce along with the bay leaves, and I gave the sauce a mix just by shaking the pot slightly. I then covered the pot with my lid and I let the sauce cook until the sourness was gone, which took about roughly 20 to 25 minutes on medium heat. Once again, the sauce was getting stuck, so I added a bit more water and mixed the sauce in. I also tasted for flavouring as I went along, so because there wasn't that much flavour, I added roughly a teaspoon of salt. Once the sauce was ready and the sourness was gone, I then added my washed rice into it, and I gave everything a good mix. Here I started adding the 3.5 cups of water into this mix, and of course if you want your rice to be less mushy, I would say add less water, so about 3 cups or maybe 2 cups and 3/4. So now that the rice has been added and mixed in, I covered my pot with a baking paper before placing my lid on top. This is so that the rice could steam and boil properly whilst mixing with the ingredients well. Now in this step, I turned the heat down to medium-low so that the rice could boil properly. So I let it cook for about 35 minutes at first, and I checked back on the rice here to find that it was still a bit mush, so I wanted to let it cook a little bit more. So I let it cook for a final 15 minutes, and after checking back on it once again, I could see that it was ready. So yeah, this was the whole process of making the Loso ya Bulayi, and here I started plating it up. So I've got my little bowl here, and I started scooping up all the portions of the rice and placing it into this bowl. I also had this dish with 2 portions of chicken along with this salad that I made. It has boiled eggs in it along with some chopped peppers, chopped spring onions, mayonnaise and salt. So yeah, that's it. This is how I made this Loso ya Bulayi. Very easy to follow recipe, and I hope you guys try this out and enjoy it for yourselves. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more recipe videos. Bye everyone.